Fine. Good morning to you all students. Hi students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Students, are you studying daily's portion? So did you study yesterday's portion? So daily I have given some homeworks for you to study, isn't it? So are you studying? So last class I asked you to study the 3 more questions, isn't it? So have you all studied or not? So please study daily's portion, okay? So welcome to our today's online class. So now we are studying about the chapter 7, composition and decomposition, isn't it? So before we are going to start about our today's portion, just recall what are things you have studied in the last class, okay? So last class we have studied about types of statement, isn't it? Types of statement. What are the statements you have studied? So from 6th chapter onwards you are studying types of statements. So what are the statements you have studied? Sequential statement, alternative statement, then conditional statement. So this kind of statements you have studied at the last class. And also one important 5 more questions or one important problem you have studied. Farmer, goat and wolf problem. So I asked you to study and write that problem also. Did you study? So please study daily portion. Don't ignore. Okay. At last you won't get time for you to study. Okay. So today we are going to study one problem. Okay. So we are going to find out minimum of 2 numbers. Okay. By using algorithm, we are going to find or we are going to write an algorithm for finding minimum of 2 numbers. What's the meaning of minimum? Minimum means smallest. Okay. So minimum of 2 numbers means, so 2 numbers they have given, among the 2 numbers we need to find the smallest or which is the smallest value from the numbers. Okay. So we are going to find the minimum of 2 numbers using alternative statement. So what do you mean by alternative statement? So alternative means 2 ways or different solutions will be there. Either alternative statement we have studied. So 2 conditions, condition is 1. So if the condition is satisfied, true block will execute. Otherwise the false block will execute. So we have studied about alternative statement. So now we are going to find a minimum of 2 numbers using alternative statement. Okay. So minimum of 2 numbers. So 2 numbers is there. So how many variables you need to take to find minimum of 2 numbers? How many variables you need to take? 2 variables. So what are the variables they have given means A and B. So A represents the first value of the first variable. Then B represents the value for the second variable. Okay. So we are going to store the value or result. We are going to store the minimum number in a variable called result. Understand? So we are going to store the output or we are going to store the result. That means minimum number or output or answer. We are going to store the answer in which variable? Result. Understand? So we have taken 3 variables to find minimum of 2 numbers. What are the variables? A and B as well as result. So A is to store the first value, B is to store second value and result is to store the answer. Understand? So we are going to find the minimum. So we need to read this as A minimum B. Okay. That's this arrow symbol A minimum B. So we need to find minimum of these 2 numbers. Which 2 numbers? A as well as B. So they have given A this arrow minimum of B. Understand? So in bracket they have given 2 examples. See. So what's the meaning? 4 minimum of 2. So what's the answer you will get? Which is the minimum value or smallest value? 2. The answer is 2. Next thing. See. Minus 5 minimum of 6. Which one is the smallest value? Minus 5. Understand? So how many variables require? 2. See, A value of A is 4 here. The value of B is 2. The answer 2 is stored in the variable result. Understand? So next we are going to write a specification algorithm for this minimum of 2 numbers. So what's the format for writing specification algorithm? First you need to write the name of the algorithm, then input, inputs and output, then property of input and output. That already we have studied. So we need to give, first line is we need to specify the name of the algorithm. So here they are giving minimum. Why means we are going to find minimum of two numbers. So they have named the algorithm as minimum. So inside the name of the algorithm we need to give inputs. So how many input variables we are using? 2. What are they? A comma B. Okay. So then next we need to write input. So input always write start input and output starts with command line. That means 2 dashes. So inputs how many variables? 2. A comma B. Understand? Next output. So in output you are storing in the variable called what? Result. So what's the formula for finding minimum of two numbers? A, minimum B. Understand? So you are writing the specification algorithm for finding minimum of two numbers. First is the name of the algorithm. What's the name? Minimum. So inside the bracket you need to give the inputs. Then inputs how many variables? A comma B. Then outputs you are storing in a variable called result. So what's the formula? A, minimum B. Understand? Listen. Next we are going to write the algorithm in using alternative statement. That is a specification algorithm. That's a normal specification algorithm. But in question they asked to find the minimum of numbers using alternative statement. Okay. So what's the meaning of alternative statement? Two conditions will be there. For a condition is there. So based on the condition, two statements will be there. If as well as else. So in last class I have explained about if and else. What do you mean by if and else? If one condition is there, if the condition is satisfied means, if the condition is true means, if block will execute. Or what are the statements you have given inside the true block will display. If the condition is false means, only the else block will execute. Or what are the statements you have given inside the else block will display the output. So same thing here we can see. So the same minimum of two numbers they have written using alternative statement. So alternative statement always comes with if else. Okay. That means true part as well as false part. Listen. So first step we are writing the minimum. That means name of the algorithm. Minimum of A comma B. Second. So second we are giving input A and B. Next we are going to find the minimum of numbers using alternative statement. So alternative statement means two statements will be there, true as well as false. So for that you need to give the condition. First you need to give the condition. So listen, they are giving the condition in using the keyword if. Okay, if A less than B. Okay, this is the condition. What's the condition? If A less than B. That means the value A is lesser than B means the answer, which is the smallest number, A. So the value A is stored in which variable? Result. Already we have studied the answer you need to store in the variable result. So condition they have given if A less than B. That means the value A is smaller than B means we need to store the smaller value in the variable result. So A is smaller. They have given. This is one part. Next else. So if A is smaller means we need to print the variable A. Else, if A is not, that's the meaning. Else means if A is not smaller. Already here smaller we have given. Else means if the A is not smaller means only one possible value will be there, B. So we need to store the value B in the variable result. Okay. So this is the formula for finding A minimum B that we have written in last. So specification algorithm we will denote only 3 lines. This minimum 1, 2 and 7th line. But the same thing we are writing in alternative statement. Listen. Alternative statement we have include the line 3, 4 and 5 and 6. So alternative statement how many if a condition is there means how many blocks will be there? 2. True block as well as false block. Listen. So this is the condition. Based on the condition the block will change. So if A less than B, this is the condition. If this condition is true means only these 2 lines will execute. That means the answer you will get is A. Okay. Sometimes the condition false means so these 2 lines won't get execute. The line 5 and 6 will execute. The answer you will get as a B. So understand? So at the same time, this 4 lines can't able to execute. Why means? So either the value A is smaller or B is smaller. If A is smaller means, so this if block will execute. If B is smaller means else block will execute. You will get the answer either A or B as a minimum number. Understand? So this is the formula for writing alternative statement. Understand? So next thing is case analysis. Okay. So here using the alternative statement, we are going to analyze some problem in two cases. Using alternative statement, we are going to analyze some problem in how many cases? 2 or multiple cases. Okay. So case analysis means nothing but we are going to split the cases or split the problem into a many set of sets. And so same in the last chapter I have said one example for this splitting. So if you have one big paragraph is there. So if you are feeling tough to study that big paragraph, you will split the big paragraph. For example, that paragraph will contain 200 lines. So you are feeling very tough to study 200 lines. So you will split the 200 line paragraph into smaller 10 lines. Each paragraph we are going to split. Okay. So that big paragraph we are calling as an one case. Okay. Understand? The big paragraph, that means 200 lines of a paragraph, we are calling as a one case. So now we are going to split the big paragraph into a smaller cases. That is called disjoint cases. Understand? That is called disjoint cases. Read the next line. Each case the problem is solved independently. That means, so similar to that example. So first you will study first paragraph. Second you will study second paragraph. At last only you will recall all the paragraphs. Isn't it? So each paragraph you are studying separately. That means one paragraph is independent of next paragraph. Likewise, here also we are going to split the main cases into a lot of multiple cases. But each case we are going to solve independently. Like a paragraph you are studying. Understand? So, based on the statements or conditions, the cases will be different. So listen, so one example they have given. So C1, C2 and C3 are conditions. So how many conditions we are giving? 3 conditions. So what are the name of the conditions we are giving? C1, C2 and C3. Okay. For that condition, 3 conditions, you are giving 4 statements. How many statements? 4 statements. The statements always you need to represent a variable yes. So 4 statements, S1, S2, S3 and S4. Understand? So here how many conditions are there? 3 conditions. So 3 conditions, how many cases will be there? 4 statements will be there. S1, S2, S3 and S4. Okay. So here how many case analysis? Totally how many case analysis? 4 statements, 3 conditions. So 4 case analysis statement is there. Okay. How many case analysis? 4 case analysis. So using alternative statement, we are going to write the case analysis. So listen. First thing, case C1. That means first case condition. First condition. So which statement need to execute? S1. Okay. For example, simple case. One case is there. We are multiplying or dividing that one case into a multiple cases. Okay. So each case the condition will be there. So each condition we are giving some statements to execute. Okay. So listen. First thing is case C1. That means first condition. Statements we need to give is S1. Understand? Case C1. First case condition C1. Statement S1. Next thing. Case C2 condition is condition C2. So in that which statement S2. Likewise case C3. Third case we are giving the statement S3. So 3 cases with 3 statements we are given. So how many cases? 3 choices. Then else. If 3 of them fails means we need to give the last statement. That we need to give in which condition? Else. So else which is the last statement? S4. Understand? So last condition is S4. Okay. So here we are giving, so going to split the problem into multiple cases. So multiple cases means here they are giving 3 conditions and 4 statements. So we need to write the first case, the condition is C1. In that statement, S1. Next case C2. In for that statement, S2. Next case C3. For that statement, S3. So else, if 3 of them get fails means the 4th statement you need to give us S4. Understand? So what are the things I have explained? They have given in a theory. So listen, the condition C1 or C2, how we are going to evaluate the 3 condition means. So first condition is true means. Okay. So the first condition is true means which statement will get executed? First statement. Understand? So listen. So here we are giving 3 conditions, C1, C2, C3. Okay. So listen. Sometimes this condition is true. First condition is true. So which statement will execute? S1. So remaining block will not get execute. Sometimes the second condition is true. So which statement will execute? S2. So the remaining statements won't get execute. Sometimes the third condition is true. So the remaining statements won't get execute. Only S3 will get execute. Sometimes the 3 conditions will get fail. That means false. So which statement will execute? The else part will execute. Understand? For that only they have given. First it will check the which condition is true. So which condition? For example, either C1 will be true or C2 will be true or C3. If C1 true means the statement S1 will execute. C2 true means S2. C3 means S3. Remaining won't get execute. Okay. So, but at least any one of the statement needs to be true. Isn't it? So, any one of the statement will get true means only you can able to get the output. So, if all the condition becomes false. Okay. So, if all the condition C1, C2 and C3, 3 condition becomes false means which part will execute? That means else part. That we are calling as a default case. Understand? So, in that example, we have given 3 cases. C1, C2 and C3 with the condition C1, C2, C3. So either C1 will be true or C2 will be true or C3. If 3 of them will get false means the which one will get execute, that means else. That part we are calling as a default case. Understand? So based on that they have divided into 2 types. Exhaustive and disjoint. Okay. So what are the 2 things based on the conditions they have divided? 2. What are they means? Exhaustive and disjoint. Either the cases are exhaustive or the cases are disjoint. Okay. So listen. What do you mean by exhaustive means? At least any one of the cases needs to be true. That means C1, C2, C3 is there, no? Among them at least any one of the cases needs to be true. If all the cases is false means which case it will take as a true? Default. That means else part it will take as a true. Understand? What do you mean by exhaustive? What do you mean by exhaustive? So how many conditions we are giving? Based on the conditions at least any one of the condition needs to be true. Either C1, C2 or C3. Okay. If all the condition becomes fails means that means the else part or default cases becomes true. Understand? That we are calling as an exhaustive. Okay. Next, the cases are disjoint. Okay. What do you mean by disjoint means? So here we are going to check more than one condition. But any one of the condition will true. Okay. Exhaustive means at least any one of the condition needs to true. But here disjoint means only one condition becomes true. Either C1 or C2 or C3. If C1 is true means C2, C3 won't get execute. If C2 is true means C3 and C4 won't get execute. If C3 is true means C1 and C2 won't get execute. Understand? So any one of the case will become true. Remaining cases won't get executed. Understand the difference between X cos 2 and disjoin? X cos 2 mean at least one need to be true. Otherwise default case is true. But disjoin means any one case becomes true. Remaining all get false. So that only they are giving. So three conditions are when we are calling the conditions are disjoint means. So C1, C2 and C3. Either C1 will be get true or C2 will be get true or C3. So if C1 is true means C2 and C3 are not executed. Like that each sets we need to find. Understand? So next we are going to, this is important question, okay? This is the important question. So algorithm to compare two numbers and produces the result, okay? So we are going to compare the two numbers. So already we have studied a problem for finding two minimum of two numbers, okay? So here we are going to compare two numbers, okay? So this is the question. So compare A comma B. So this is minus 1, okay? Not 1 minus 1. Minus 1, when you will get the answer minus 1? If A less than B. The value is A less than B means you will get the answer as minus 1. If A equal to B means what's the answer you will get? 0. If A greater than B means what's the answer you will get? 1. So listen, by seeing this question, you can able to find out cases and conditions. How many cases it will come? 2 cases, that means 2 true part and 1 else part. So we need to check 3, isn't it? So 2 cases as well as 1 else part. By seeing the question itself, you need to identify. Now we are going to write the minimum of, comparison of two numbers. So now we are going to compare these two numbers, okay? First, we are going to split this into a 3 disjoint cases. Okay, so last we have studied splitting of disjoint cases. Likewise, we are going to split this question into how many disjoint cases? 3 disjoint cases. So what's the first case means? A less than B. That's the first case. Second case, A equal to B. And third case is A greater than B. Okay, so we are going to define the name of the algorithm is compare. Question itself they have given compare. Okay, so we are going to write the algorithm using this multiple cases. Okay, so what's the name of the algorithm? Compare. So how many inputs needs to be there? 2, A comma B. So what's the first case? A less than B. Okay, so first case is case A less than B. So if the number A less than B means what output you will get? Minus 1. So the answer you are going to store the variable result. So result equal to what's the result you will get? If A less than B means result equal to minus 1. So this is a very important question and also very easy. Okay. So listen. Second case. Case A equal to B. So if the case A equal to B means what's the result you will get? 0. So result equal to 0. Next. 2 cases over. Then only one default case is there. So only one default case is there means you need to write with else. So at last you don't write case. So you write else. So what's the else condition? A greater than B means what's the result you will get? Result equal to 1. Understand the problem? So you are going to compare two numbers. Okay. So in question they have given compare A comma B. So if A less than B means what answer you will get? Minus 1. So A equal to B means the answer you will get is 0. A greater than B means the answer you will get is 1. So first we are going to write the algorithm with the starting name of the algorithm compare A comma B. So first case A less than B means the result you will get is minus 1. See result minus 1. Next case if case A equal to B means the result you will get is 0. So 2 cases you have written. Then only the default case. So default case what you will write? With else part. So if else A greater than B. A greater than B means what result you will get? 1. Understand? Understand or not? So this is all very important questions. Okay. So understand? So next we are going to study about iterative statement. Okay. Iterative statement. So what do you mean by iterative statement? So already we have studied about alternative statement. So alternative statement means based on the condition. So it will execute the statements based on true or false. Isn't it? But iterative statement means it will execute the same process again and again. What do you mean by iterative statement? It will execute some statement, same action. That means same statement it will execute again and again or repeated. Okay. Based on the condition. Some conditions they will give. So based on the condition, it will execute the some statements repeatedly or again and again. Okay. That we are calling as an iterative statement. Understand what you mean by iterative statement? So it will execute the process repeatedly or more number of times again and again based on the condition. Okay. So listen. So the condition they have given in the letter C and the statement they have given in the letter S. Okay. What's the name of the condition? C and the statement is yes. So here they are given while. Okay. In the alternative statement we have studied the keyword if else. That means two blocks. True block as well as false block. True block means if statement will execute. False block means else statement will execute. Okay. So here we are using the keyword while. So what's the keyword here we are using? While. So what's the condition we are giving? C. The condition is C. So and the statement they have given inside the condition is yes. Okay. So here we are going to write the same. While this condition. While we are giving some condition. So based on that condition, some statement will execute. What's the statement? Yes. So this statement we are calling as an which is statement? Iterative statement. Understand what's the statement here? That statement we are calling as an iterative statement. So here, what's the use of this statement means? So based on the first it will check the condition. So you are giving some condition. First it will check the condition. So either the condition become true or false. Okay, so listen, if the condition is true means, so what statement you have given inside this, that statement will execute again and again. Okay, if the condition is false means, it will come outside, it won't do anything. So this iterative statement we are commonly called as loop. Important one more question, the iterative statement commonly known as loop. Okay, so listen, we are giving one condition with the keyword while, inside that we are giving one statement. If the condition is true means this statements given inside this while block will execute. So based on the condition, if 2 times means 2 times it will execute. 3 times means 3 times. 4 times means 4. 5 means 5. For example, in the conditions you are given 3 times. So how many times the statement will execute? 3. Sometimes you are giving in the condition 5 times. So how many times the statement will execute? 5 times. So it will execute. That means you are giving in the condition you are giving up to 2. So the statement will execute how many times? 2 times. Here you are giving 2, but whether the statement will execute 4 times? No. Based on the condition, how many number of times you are giving, based on the condition, that number of times the statement will execute. Okay. So this statement and this process we are calling as an loop. Okay. If the condition is false, that means here you are giving 2 times. Okay. Condition is giving 2 times. So 2 times the statement will get executed. So how many times the statement will execute? 2. That means 2 times the condition becomes true. Then third time. So third time whether the statement will execute? No. So third time the condition becomes false. So it will come outside of the loop. It won't get executed. Understand? Understand about iterative statement? So same thing they have given. What I have explained they have given in theory C. So first it will test the condition and execute the statement. So it will repeat it until the condition become false. That only is if the condition you are giving 2 times means 2 times it will execute. Third time the condition become false, it will come outside. Okay. So if the condition become false, that means see the condition become false means the loop will end. Okay. The loop will end, the statement will flow. That means next to the next is iterative statement. So the same statement won't get executed, it will come outside of the loop and next statement will execute. Okay. So this process we are calling as an the condition C and the statement yes we are calling as an loop condition. The condition we are calling as an which condition? Loop condition. The statement we are giving inside the loop condition we are calling as an loop body. Understand, this is all important. So here in iterative statement, you are going to check whether the condition is true. So based on that number of times the statement will get execute. Okay. The condition we are calling as an which condition? Loop condition. Okay. What's the condition? Loop condition. The statement you have given inside this condition we are calling as an which one? Loop body. Okay. So first it will check the condition. So one example I said no. If the condition is 2 means how many times the statement will execute? 2 times. Okay. That means first time it will check the condition and first time it will print the statement. Second time it will check the condition. Second time it will print the statement. Okay. So each time it will test the condition whether the condition is true. So that process first time it will check and give the output. Second time it will check and give the output. Okay. So first time we are calling as an first iteration. Okay. That process we are calling as an what? Iteration. First time it will check and give the output. That is first iteration. Second time it will check and give the second output. That is second iteration. Third time means third iteration. Okay. When the condition becomes false, that we are calling as a termination condition. This is all very important. For example, if the condition you are given 2 times, so how many iterations will be there? 2 iterations. Third time the condition becomes false, it will come outside. That third time we are calling as a termination condition. Understand? So what are the things you have studied? So it will check the condition. So based on that condition, it will check till the condition true, it will print the statement as output. When the condition becomes false, it will come outside of the statement and next statement will get executed. So condition in iterative statement we are calling as an which condition? Loop condition. And statement we are calling as an which statement? Iterative statement. Okay. So So condition we are calling as an loop condition and the statement you are giving inside the condition we are calling as an loop body. Okay. So each time you need to check the condition. So that it will check the condition one time means we are called first iteration. Second time means second iteration. So when the condition becomes false, at that place the condition becomes terminate. That condition we are calling as a termination condition. Understand? So listen, this is the flow chart for that iterative condition. Okay. So this iterative statement also has 2 outgoing arrows. Okay. So how many outgoing arrows is for the iterative statement? 2. So one is for true. See, one outgoing arrow for true. Another outgoing arrow for false. So this true arrow point to the statements. That means till the condition become true, this statement will execute again and again. See, so till the condition becomes true, the arrow again go to the condition. See, first condition, the statement will execute. Again the arrow mark go to condition. So till the condition becomes true, this block will execute. Or the statement given inside this box will execute. Okay. When the condition becomes false means it will come outside of the loop. Whether any statement is there inside the false? No. That means it will go to the next box. Understand? So for iterative statement, how many arrows are there? 2. One for true and another for false. So in the condition always you need to give in diamond shape. Till the condition becomes true, the statement given inside the true statement will execute. See this arrow mark. For this arrow mark, first it will check the condition true. So the statement will execute. Again it will enter into the condition box. Again it will check. Likewise, for example, here you are giving the condition 5. So first time it will print the statement. Second time again it will come to condition. Okay, second condition. So again it will print. Again it will come third. Likewise 5. Up to 5 it will come. So till 5 the condition become true, print the statement. So 6th time it will check whether the condition become true. No, because you are given only 5. So the condition becomes false. At that time it will come outside of the loop. Understand? So at the time of I am taking class, so you will think this and all very easy. You can understand easily. But while you are studying together, all the statements, conditional statement, alternative statement, assignment statement, everything, you are studying all together, surely you will get confused. Okay. So please differentiate and study. What do you mean by conditional statement and draw the flow chart. Then alternative statement, draw the flowchart. Make a difference and study. Understand and study. Otherwise surely you will get forget. Okay. So next thing you are going to find. So this problem also already we have studied in the 6th chapter. To find the quotient and remainder after dividing the two integers, isn't it? So we are going to construct an iterative algorithm to compute the quotient and remainder after dividing the integer a and b. So whether you have studied the same problem in the chapter 6 specification algorithm, you have studied, it's in the same thing only. So first what you will do? So name of the algorithm, divide. How many variables for dividing? 2. So a divided by b. So a comma b, 2 input variable. Then you need to give the inputs and property of input. So what's the property? A will be an integer. That means a needs to be a number. Then b not equal to 0. That means any number is divided by 0 means it is not accepted. So the b also needs to be a number not equal to 0. So that's the property of input. Then output. What are the output variables? Q and R. So this is a formula for calculating. That means quotient into b plus remainder. So you will get the answer for A. Okay. Next thing. So next condition, output property, input output relation. They are giving the 0 less than or equal to remainder less than b. Okay. That means the remainder needs to become in between the 0 and the value b. Okay. Understand, the remainder needs to be between the value 0 and that means 0 less than or equal to, that means between 1 and the value of b. Okay. Now we are going to write the iterative algorithm for this one. This one already you have studied in specification. So what is first the name of the algorithm? Divide. So name is divide. 2 inputs a comma b. Then first one input. We are writing the property for the input. So what's the property? A needs to be a number and the condition b not equal to 0. Then you need to find out output. What are the outputs? Quotient and remainder, Q and R. So what's the formula for satisfying? Quotient into B. This one you need to study. Okay. So for example here, consider this number is a 22. 22 comma 5. For example, I am telling 22 comma 5. Substitute here. So 22 comma 5. So if what quotient you are getting, that quotient into B. For example, 22 divided by 5. What quotient you will get? 4, isn't it? The quotient you will get is 4. So 4 into what's the value of b? 5. 4 5 are. See, 4 quotient you will divide it. 22 divided by 5. Divide it. So what quotient value you will get? 4. So what's the value for b? 5. 4 into 5, 20. What remainder you will get? 2. So 22. The answer you are getting as a value of a. Understand? Substitute and see. So that's the condition. And second condition is the remainder you are getting 0 less than or equal to b. That means what remainder you are getting here? 2. So the value of b is 5. So it is greater than 0 between the value of, that means the value between 1 and the value of b. Understand? So now we are going to write the iterative algorithm. Listen. So algorithm, iterative algorithm you are going to write. So first the name of the algorithm, same thing. Divide a comma b, what we have written in specification is same. Input a is an integer, b not equal to 0, that's the input property. Then output. What are the variables? Q and R, such the condition. What's the condition? So quotient into b plus r and 0. This already you have studied. Next, listen. Quotient comma remainder. So what's the initial value for quotient? Before we are going to divide, the initial value for quotient is 0. And the remainder initial value is a. Okay. Before you are going to do the division, the initial value you are giving the quotient as a 0 and the remainder value is a. After dividing only you will get the answers. And before dividing that the initial value you are giving 0 and a. Next condition. Okay. So what's the condition? The remainder greater than or equal to b. If the remainder you are getting that value is greater than b means, so what's the quotient you need to do? Q plus 1 and R minus b. You need to increase the quotient with 1 and the remainder you need to decrease with the value b. Understand? So it will check that this loop will execute till the condition becomes false. Understand? So this is called iteration. So listen, what they are giving the remainder, what remainder they have given, the same thing. The value greater than b means, so quotient and remainder. Each time the quotient you need to add with 1 and remainder you need to minus. This and all please understand and study. Okay. The same thing. So see this example. Then only you will get understand. Listen. So this is the process. How the process are executed in computer or iteration. Listen how the iteration is going to go. First listen, two variables. Here you do. Two variables A and B. Next, this is the input variable. Next, what are the quotients as well as remainder? Q and R. Okay. Remaining this and all steps first leave it. This all the steps leave it. Okay. All the steps leave it. First line alone you see. First input variable A and B. Then quotient and remainder. Then see the previous slide. See. So quotient and remainder. How you need to calculate quotient with 1 and remainder minus B. So quotient plus 1. Q plus 1 and remainder minus B. So leave all the things. Okay, first write the values. What's the initial value? A value is 22. B value is 5. So initially we have given. So see the last slide. So initially we have given quotient value is 0 and the remainder value is A. So in the place of remainder value, you need to give what? The value for A. So now substitute. What's the value for A now? 22. So here the remainder value is 22. Leave all the lines. Okay, remaining things leave it. So initial A and B. Remainder value is 22. Okay, the quotient is 0. So iteration. First before going to start, the iteration start with 0. Next time listen. Remainder R minus B. This step you take. R minus B. So take in 22 minus, what's the value of B now? 5. 22 minus 5. What answer you are getting? 17. So that answer you need to write here. Okay, listen, 22 minus 5. Likewise, this like you arrow mark put it in your book. Okay, so 22 minus 5 or minus B. The answer you will get 17. So this one. So when you are getting the remainder, you need to add with the quotient 1. 0 plus 1. First time, 0 plus 1. So here also the quotient you are getting 1. So 0 plus 1. Next time, 17. This value, 17 minus 5. What value you will get? 12. So next time add with 1. 1 plus 1, 2. So that answer 2. Okay. Next 2 plus 1. What answer you will get? 3. Here 3 plus 1, 4. Here each time it will 12 minus 5. 7. 7 minus 5. What answer you are getting? 2. Okay. After that whether you can able to divide it? No. So now see the last step. So 22 divided by 5. So what's the quotient you are getting? 4. So what's the remainder you are getting? 2. Okay, understand? So first you write the first step. The value of A is 22, B is 5. Then you are giving first the remainder value as A. So 22. Then quotient is 0. So this is iteration. How many times this process will execute? So first time 22 minus 5. What value you are getting? 17. So likewise 22. Arrow mark likewise you put 22 minus 5. Answer you are getting 17. Next time 17 minus 5. Answer you are getting 12. Next 12 minus 5. Answer you are getting 7. 7 minus 5. The answer you are getting 2. So each time the quotient needs to increase with 1. So here 17 means first 1. Then 1. 0 plus 1. What's the answer? 1. Then 1 plus 1 answer 2. So that answer you need to write. This like you need to write. Okay. 0 plus 1 answer 1. Then 1 plus 1 answer 2. Then 2 plus 1 answer 3. 3 plus 1 answer 4. Understand? So this like this process only computer will execute each iteration. So at how many iterations will be there? 4. Fourth iteration only you will get the quotient as 4 and the remainder as 2. So simply we will divide means 22 divided by 4. So simply we can know. So what's the quotient you will get? If with anybody else means we can immediately say the quotient we will get as 4 and remainder 2. So this much of steps and this much of iterations is there to get the quotient and remainder. Okay. So that only they have given. What I have explained that only they have given. So yeah, so each row they are telling one iteration. Okay, just to read it. So what are the thing? Input variables A and B and output variables Q and R. So 4 conditions you are going to check. That means still the remainder you are getting 2. 2 is less than 5. After that you can't able to divide. So at the end of the loop you will get the answer. The quotient is a 4 and remainder is a 2. Okay. So next example we can study in the next class. Okay. So up to this today's portion over. So please study today what are the iterative statement, very important, and what are the examples I taught, minimum of 2 numbers, compare of 2 numbers, and this now we have studied this integer problem, divide that problem. So please, these 3 problems after completion of this session, please study and write it. Okay, very important questions. Thank you students. Remaining we can continue next week. Okay, thank you.